It's a byproduct of the annoying creature. Okay, so probably it's either, I mean, I'm assuming the annoying creature is the troll. And the byproduct is either the bile when you kill it, or it's the spit if you talk to him. How would we capture this material? So we need some sort of receptacle first of all. I think they said something about the shields. Remember catching rainwater? Maybe we can use that to catch whatever the liquid is. Take shield. Can I like turn shield or flip shield? Maybe I just drop it. You gently put down the shield. It looks like a large bowl on the ground. Yeah, okay, so this is the way to do it. So I wonder if I just kill him or do I have to talk to him? All right, let me just without the sword just attack him. Pile of blood, puddle of black pile that seeps into the ground. Did it get into the? When worn. Wait, so I don't think the shield got anything. So that didn't work. So maybe we do need to spit. Don't you have anything to do with better than being obnoxious? Sophistry of a sadist. Flux by your energy. Didn't spit though. Okay, so how did we get him to spit the last time? I gotta wait till the next one comes. Okay. Let me choose some different conversations. Nothing to say. What? Should I even come back? Okay. Recuperate? You mean recoup? Troll pauses and spits at you. Its saliva burns. Ah, oh, damn it. So the spit didn't go in there. Maybe I can take the troll and put him in the shields? You grab the troll. It tries to squirm out of your grasp, but while in the air, you're not sure how long you can hold it. Can I squeeze him? Let me squeeze his juices into the shield. Your grip strength is insufficient to inflict many hit points of damage this way. Damn. Squeeze him. Wring him out. Yeah, man, it's understandable, Basil. It's understandable. For sure. I was gonna say. Nothing to say. How come? It's weird that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. See, yeah. I don't know, it seems so weird that sometimes you can speak to it and sometimes you can't. I'm like, what? Okay, it spit at me. Is there a way we can hold this shield, but like... And I think it's supposed to be on the ground. So let me see if I kill with my sword. Didn't you say it was your adventure, not mine? You must be thinking of the other troll. Troll says. Fair enough. Okay, take the sword. Oh, I already have that. Attack troll with sword. Nah, it just keeps on seeping into the ground. How do I get it to... Hey, can I stand on the shield, maybe? No. Can't stand on it. Okay, it looks like a large bowl on the ground. So there's bile and spit. Maybe we could just cut troll so he's bleeding. You skewer the troll with your sword. Oh, so that's actually a shorter way than to say attack enemy with sword. Can I look in the shield? No, it's empty. Maybe I need to put something in there that he'd want so that he'd go on there himself. Put gold in shield. I'm not going to throw my money away. Put rock in shield. Okay, I can put the rock in the shield. So that suggests I could put a lot of different things in there. Perhaps. In which is a rock. Damn. Okay. Is it possible there's a different annoying creature? Dragon. I don't think... I mean, the Minotaur is gone. We can't see the rocks again. The Fisherman is gone. I don't know what other... I mean, there's just the Dragon and the Troll, I think. Well, the Knight rides through, but... we don't have any chance to target him. Unless we were to set up a trap or something, but... we don't have access to the cat or the warden. Can't get into the tavern for all the people there. Yeah, I mean... oh, the weapon shop dude, but... I don't think we can do anything there. I mean, the fact that the shield is acting like a bowl is supposed to be the thing. What else could I... maybe... oh, maybe I turn something into gold? Because he does want gold. Okay. So maybe I could use the Kolorigi to turn something in gold, and then he'd go after it and go in there. Maybe like one of the darts or something? I'm not sure what I could use as bait. So take the rock back. Yeah, we'll try it. Take the rainbow, take the wand, put the rainbow in the wand. Alright, so what do we want to turn into gold? Or something useless, right? So probably one of the darts or... yeah, probably. Let's turn one of the ordinary darts. Okay, so squeeze, wand, Kolorigi. I mean, this means I won't be able to use the Dazzling spell, but... okay, red dart is gold. Put gold dart in shield. Anything now? Troll shakes its head at me. Nothing to say. So that didn't work. He's not going after it. Maybe I can give him... well, that wouldn't do anything really, but... what if you give it to the troll? I'm curious. I'm not going to give my possessions to a troll. Well, you, they let you give a gold whatever it is in there, so... they let you give the gold coins. Alright, so... maybe we need to make him... Bile or spit. The spit actually hurt us. So it is caustic to some degree. Is catch a verb? No. And move isn't either. Landa loves those trolls. Yeah, gold dart. Okay. So he doesn't care about going and getting items in there. We can't stand... Can we stand next to it? No. Stand near shield. Stand by the shield. No. Stand by your man. I'm now standing. Sit. What do you want to sit on? The shield. Not something I can sit down on. Damn. Boo. Boo, I say boo. So this was a good hint insofar as we kind of know at least what the goal is. We just now have to figure out how to do it. So let's think. We need to... Let me just look again what Vino said just to make sure I read it properly. The fuel is the byproduct of a particularly annoying creature. Okay, so it's not... So maybe it's not a liquid that emanates, but if we could take the troll... Maybe we take the troll and then... We can't push him. Maybe we can take it with us somehow. Or we cut it while we're holding him. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so drop the shield. Take the troll. Cut the troll. I'm not holding anything with the... Really? Okay, take the troll. Cut the troll. You skewered the troll with your sword, doing 51 points of damage. The troll is mortally wounded. Then it dies. Unfortunately, you were holding the troll when you finished it off, so when it dissolves into black bile as dead trolls do, you were doused in the stuff. And it burns right through your clothes, your skin, your bones. You have died. Wow.
Oh no. You never should insist.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay, so it's actually I'm glad we found a new way to do that. So maybe let's try see if we can travel it with us. I think I tried this once before to take it onto the bridge and it didn't work. Yeah, it squirms out of your grasp before you can take more than a few steps. It runs back to the foot of the bridge while you continue on to the small cave. So we can't take him with us. Yeah, because again, well, it's not a real death vessel. We've been over this. Now, the game requires you to die to progress. You have to go to the other. That's the way to get to the other world. So they're not actually. It's a very meta game. They're not real deaths. So maybe when we take the troll, we can put it in the shield. Yeah, take troll, put troll in shield. Maybe that. Okay. Drop the shield. Take the troll. Put troll in shield. Oh, you dumped the troll into the bowl-shaped shield. All right, now cut the troll. You skewer the troll with your sword, doing 53 points of damage. Then it dies, it's mortally wounded. Its body dissolves into a puddle of black bile that fills the bowl-shaped shield. Yes. Can we? How do we transport the shield now? We didn't get points. Take shields. You pick up the, well, technically it's still a shield, though right now you're using it as a bowl. The black bile exposed to direct sunlight begins to boil away into greasy smoke. Oh. So we gotta cover it with something now, maybe. Shoot, so... Pour bile, I don't imagine we have it, but pour bile and funnel. Oh, no, I still had some. The bile disappears down the pipe. At first, it seems like this has had no effect, but then you notice that the arrow in the fuel gauge has moved from empty to fill. Oh my god. Thank goodness. Wow, all of that only 1 point. My goodness. Oh man. Alright, save this pupper. Man, that's kind of a crazy thing. Zero, thank you for the 27 bits. Thank you. It was just getting annoying to have to tally up the death counter, honestly. Yeah, they're meta deaths, true. They are meta deaths. That's still crazy though, because like bile as fuel. I mean, they said it's black bile, but I still like my mackerel idea more. I thought the fish oil idea. Didn't you guys think that was a good idea? I think that was a better idea, honestly, than the troll. If we could have used the fish oil from the mackerel that we still have. Pick a. And we didn't even know, if you look at the shield, it doesn't say it's like a bowl-like. There's nothing about the description of the shield that suggests it's a bowl. The only where you get a sense that it's a bowl is when you talk to the other people about collecting the rainwater. Man, that... Yeah, I don't know. Not sure I like that one. I mean, it's not like outrageous, but it's like... It's pretty moon logic-y, to be honest. Troll bile as fuel. Alright, anyway, so now we gotta try this. So, let's actually try, I guess, the shield for real. Do the shield part here. Okay, we're gonna put coin in slot. Let's get our directions here. I guess we'll take a death to, or a pseudo meta death. The machine world's to life. A series of tones plays. The tempering process is about to begin. Well, aren't I supposed to hear the tones so I know where to block? I guess make sure I'm holding the shield. You hear a tone from the machine, but you can't tell what note it is. You don't have a very good sense of pitch. Oh no. So maybe this is where we use the Dazzly spell? To turn the sound into light? Yeah, probably. Block north. You're not wearing your shield. Oh my god. The nozzle to the south erupts with a burst of flame. It burns you to a crisp. Nice. Alright, hang on. I think we're going to have to use the Dazzly spell here, but I still want to try wear the shield. Okay. Block south. You prepare for attack from the south. The nozzle to the south erupts. You successfully block with your shield. Oh, your score goes up by 1. Crazy. So maybe there's just a pattern you can memorize. I don't know. You prepare for attack from the west. Oh, I'm out in front. You hear a tone, but you can't tell what note it is. It seems like maybe it was higher than last time. So south was G. Oh god, I'm so bad at music. I need to look at a musical scale. Isn't C like the highest one? Maybe? I don't know. I'm going to say A, east. East. Oh, yeah. Okay, it was. Nozzle to the east erupts. You blocked it with my shield. Okay. Okay, next. Hopefully we only have to do this 4 times, so maybe north or west this time. Lower than last time. Oh. Alright, block to the south again for G. Nope. It was from the west. Oh. Oh, but our pitch is so shit, we don't even, it's not even reliable. Okay, got it. Alright, at least we blocked it. Taco, thank you for the host. Alright, so now let's get the other thing ready. Wear the shield first. We definitely have to do that. So let's prepare the Dazzly spell. Take rainbow and bubbly. Put rainbow and bubbly in wand. I'm not holding wand. Take rainbow and bubbly. Oh. Put rainbow and bubbly in wand. Okay, squeeze the wand. I guess I'm gonna do I want to? Oh no, I don't want to dazzly me. I want to dazzle the nozzles. I think. In fact, let's do a save here because I'm not sure how exactly this. Yeah, I want to dazzle the nozzles so the nozzles emit. Or no, the machine. The machine makes the sound, but I want the machine to do lights instead. Okay, so dazzling the machine. Oh wait, squeeze the wand. Sorry. Okay, dazzly the machine. You cast your spell. There is no immediate effect. It seems to have succeeded. Okay, great. Put coin in slot now. We're wearing the shield, right? Okay. The cave is suddenly engulfed in eerie green light. Oh, shoot. I should have looked. I'll undo that. I want to look at the nozzles to see what colors they are. Now it's in blue light. I guess we're going to have to die to find out which direction it comes from. Okay, so south. South is blue. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be like, it has to be just trial and error, I guess. Okay, so... Wait, I thought I did the spell. Shit. I guess I didn't. Squeeze wand. Dazzly machine. Alright, now save. Put coin in slot. Blue light, so block south. Yep, okay. Now, next, red. I'm gonna guess north. No, it was west. West is red. Fine. Cross over into the other world. I'm gonna cross over. Yellow. So it's north or east. Let's go north. Yeah, it was north. Okay. So now we know whatever the other color is. Probably green is going to be east. Yep. Okay. Block east. Green. Okay. Yellow. North. Blue. South. Nice. Blue again. Yellow. North. Red. West. The machine flashes with white light a few times, then goes dead. That must be the end of the sequence. You inspect your shield. It does seem to catch the light differently. Whether its tempering has left it strong enough to protect you from the dragon's flame, you'll find out soon enough. Your score goes up by 3 points. Nice. Awesome possum. Yeah, oh, of course, I did pick up on that, Basil. I did pick up on that. Okay, cool. So now the other question is whether we could do this with the rock. I'm guessing not, but I kind of like our idea with the rock. But so now we only have one ampule left, which is going to be used to do the deal. I mean, we do have one more gold coin if we wanted to use it, but I'd rather not because that's wasting a coin. So let's see if the tempered shield will hold this time. It doesn't even say whether it's tempered, but whatever, I guess it is. All right, take the clear. Put the clear in the wand. All right, let's leave. Oh, let's cut the troll. Oh, down here. All right. So now let's just review. We need to... I guess we just save here, right? We have the sword. Already have that. Okay, good. So let's do another dragon save. 95 dragon. Oh shit, I didn't do a save. Oh no. I think it's fine. The only thing we've done since then is put the clear in there, but we have no other ampules, so hopefully we won't be fucked, but let's see. All right, so we're gonna do, oh, do we have the rock? Yeah, save again, okay. So we're gonna throw the rock, take the rock, and hopefully our shield, the whole idea is that our shield will like, obviously not disintegrate, and so we'll be able to buy time to turn the sword into, from steel sword, or iron sword, whatever, to gold, and then I guess we could fight the dragon. There's still an unanswered question, but we'll see. Right, Fino. It's true. I mean, some games are going to be like that. But then again, there are plenty of games with no deaths that are very clear up front that there are no deaths. That you guys, you know, just nail those, or a lot of you do. So I feel like even though you feel like you might get cheated once or, here or there, a lot of times you make out quite well. But again, this game requires you to have deaths, so they're not actual. Your character isn't actually dead. You just keep on playing. It doesn't end. All right, so let's go. Let's go in. All right, throw rock at dragon.
Epo, there were no deaths in Twinson's Odyssey. You were always in heaven.
Sure, it wasn't hell, Vassal. It certainly felt like hell to me. Thank you for the 100 bit. All right. So we got the thing transformed in the orb. The dragon breathes a jet of fire at you, but you block it with your shield and emerge none the worse for the experience. You look at your shield and guess that it can withstand 3 more blasts like that. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have limited moves. You've tempered your shield, says the dragon's voice inside your head. As have others before you. They died, so shall you. All right, so now we need to... I guess let's take the rock. As you pick up the shimmering sphere, you know this can only be one thing. Philosopher's Stone. Okay, so now we're at 95. Okay, now we need to squeeze the wand. The dragon breathes a breath of fire at you. Okay, same thing. 2 more blasts. The cool thing is taking the rock doesn't like waste a turn, which is cool. All right, so now we need to... What's the name of the spell? Oviedo or something? Ovidio. Ovidio, sword from gold. Oh my god, thank god I didn't use the gold. I need, of course, the gold to do the spell. Alright, yeah, of course. With a tight grip on the coin in your pocket, you cast your spell, and though you've seen more dramatic transformations, your heart races as your sword turns to solid gold. For the first time, the dragon looks at you with fear in its eyes. Scores goes up by 5 points. We've hit triple digits. Hell yeah. Awesome. Now we even need to... We're almost halfway there. Although this game could just give us a ton of points at the end, because that's what it loves to do, but we'll see. What am I doing here? Close out that. Okay. So now, I guess just, I don't know, cut dragon? With the sword? We only have 1 more blast. With a mighty swing of your golden sword, you cleave the dragon's serpentine body in twain. Its head flies across the cave and lands outside, as its body dissolves into thick, bubbling black bile. Should we have caught that in our shield? You have slain the dragon! Now the only problem is that the dragon was much bigger than the troll, and consequently, the dissolution of its body has created a veritable lake of dark ooze. A wave of it races across the cave floor toward your feet. Your score's gone up by 99 points. I knew something like that was going to... Oh my god. 99 points. Holy shit. Oh my god. So, I guess I have to give up 49 Cedrics. No, it's not GG yet. We're not done yet. All right, let's save though for sure. Yahoo! Oh my god. Okay. First, let's just see if we do nothing. What just happens if you go to endless with after having killed the dragon? The wave catches up with you, and the dragon exacts its final revenge as the thick ooze that was once its body eats away, first your feet, and then, when you topple screaming into the shallow lake of corrosive bile, the rest of you. Aw, I was hoping it would be like a different thing, but... Let's see if we can quickly talk to the dragon, or dragon guy. Wait, what? I just want to see what he would say. I mean, I assume it's as simple as just leaving the cave, but... Oh, shit. I actually spoiled it for myself. I thought he was going to say something special. God damn it. Ah, this game. I thought you can just leave. Well, apparently that won't work, but let's just see why not. So north, leave. You run for the exit, and you almost make it, but the wave catches up with you, yada yada. Okay. Alright, so we just sex Vebi to levitate above the steaming river of bile. That's the problem with the game, like that's the way it works. Alright, you feel your stomach lurch and look down to find that you are suddenly floating several inches off of the ground. You've cast a levitation spell, a weak one, but still. The lake of bile that was once a fearsome dragon fills the cave to a depth of several inches, while you float just a hair's breadth above. You notice that the bile boils away to fetid but harmless smoke as it flows out of the cave into the sunlight, if you can just make it to the exit. I mean, the good news is that was like very straightforward, so we would have gotten that, I'm sure. Once I realized that just leaving was not an option. Here I was just trying to see all of the different content, but I was wondering if the dragon guy was going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe you killed the dragon, but how could you have died? Like, da-da-da. The final chapter, you are victorious! You emerge from the cave and pick up the dragon's head, which is lying right outside. That wasn't turned to bile? As you cross the bridge and return to town, villagers come rushing out of their homes and throw flower petals at you and sing songs in your honor. The king shows up and makes you a knight. You also get a big bag of gold. A nameless man with strange clothes walks up and shakes your hand. Congratulations, adventurer, he says. You have completed Nameless quest. Everyone cheers as he rattles off your accomplishments. You have scored 200 out of a possible 201 in 253 turns. The score is made up as follows. Okay, we didn't check our score in a little while. We did get 1 point for freeing a wooden fish from bondage. I hadn't seen that one. 1 for refueling an important machine. 1 for preventing yourself from being roasted. 1 for leveling up. 3 for tempering your shield. 5 for acquiring the Philosopher's Stone, 5 for forging a golden sword, and 99 for slaying the dragon, and 1 for living to tell the tale. The man continues, be sure to try Nameless Odyssey, coming to Endless BBS in 1988. It will take you to space and beyond. Live long and prosper. To repeat, you have won. Oh, you wake up. Uh-oh, there's still more. I don't know if it's a real win. Maybe the point is coming up here, who knows? You seem to be back in your room in the afterworld, staring at that familiar white popcorn ceiling. Except this time you're not on your bed. You're lying on the floor. You stagger to your feet. As before, you seem to be the same person you were the last time you were here. You're still wearing the brown cloak you wore then. So what happened this time? You try to think. The last thing you remember is killing the dragon, receiving the cheers of the townsfolk, receiving a formal declaration that your quest was at an end. So, does that mean that the world came to an end as well? And if so, where are you this time? Uh-oh. Empty room. Uh-oh. Here we go. Hopefully it's like an epilogue. This room appears to be the same size and shape as the one you remember, but everything is gone. The bed, the furniture, the ceiling fan, the window, the bathroom, gone. All that remains is the door out and the safe in the wall. You feel a strange sort of itch deep within your mind, as if there were something you'd forgotten and were trying to remember. It's as if there were a distant voice in the back of your mind saying, open the safe. Alright, I'm saving before we continue on. I have no idea. Oh, by the way, our score did go up to 200, so give another Cedric for that. Okay, alright, open safe. It seems to be locked. Okay. Do we still have the key? We do. Alright, unlock safe. You unlock the safe. Open safe. You open the safe to find a dragon's skull staring back at you. Welcome to Naraya, it says. Okay, what is Naraya? There are 4 levels of reality on which you might find yourself, the dragon's skull explains, telepathically. Naraya is the lowest. Okay, what are the others? You and I are from the realm of the Asuras. the dragon's skull replies. The Asuras were titans locked in endless combat. The Nameless One drove the Asuras out of their own plane of existence such that we might take their places. Look upon my work, said he, for I have changed this world from a sphere of stupid violence to one of grand adventure. Yet, when other shapers pointed out that with the Asuras gone, this plane could be fashioned into something greater still, the Nameless One and his circle scoffed. No! It shall be a plane of adventure, only adventure. And so it has remained. Oh man. This is getting so meta, I can't even meta. Yes, it was ferritic nitrocarburizing. How did you know, Basil? You said there were 2 more? Actually, I think you said there were 3 more. Beneath the adventure world is the Petaloka, the dragon's skull continues. The Peta are the shades of dead adventurers who have given up on the quest and lapsed into self-indulgence. Some may think they have arrived at a higher plane, a heavenly reward even. You would think the number of trolls would tip them off. Okay, I gather that there are even more trolls here? You might say that, the dragon's skull replies. Okay, so the realm of the Asuras, the Petaloka, Naraya. What is the 4th? The levels I've described are all part of the Apaya Bhumi, the dragon's skull says. And that is not a place you want to be. Above the Apaya Bhumi is the world of the Shapers. It is far from a paradise. Many of its denizens are fools. Many Shapers are fools. I suspect our Shaper is a fool of the highest order, but even the greatest Shaper could only create a distant echo of that world. A world of endless richness, of inexhaustible complexity, with combinatorial explosion inherent in every mote and jot. It could not have been shaped, and that is its glory. The dragon's skull pauses. But we are so far beneath that level that even to speak of it is hubris. For now, let us concentrate on getting out of Naraya. Are you responsible for this? You sent me here as some kind of revenge? You are to blame for your presence here, the dragon's skull says into your mind. You were corrupted by contact with the trolls. When the adventure ended, you were reborn on their level. But it's impossible to finish the quest without having to deal with the trolls. No, the dragon's skull maintains. We need only repair the defects in physics that have allowed them to invade our reality from this one. With my insistence, that will be easy. The hard part comes afterward. Oh no, the parser's back. Okay, so we need to repair the defects in physics that allow them to invade our reality from this one. So we have to deal with the trolls on the beach, maybe? Okay. Somehow the dragon retains its commanding presence, even reduced to a chunk of bone. Can I take the skull? Strange as it feels to do so, you pick up the dragon's skull and cradle it in your arms. Can I talk to the skull? Nothing to say. Oh my gosh. Alright, what were the exits here? West or out? Unknown. Was that into the bath? That's not into the bathroom. I can't go into the bathroom, right? No. Okay. Alright. The moment you open the door, hundreds of trolls explode into the room. You are completely engulfed. This would surely be the end. Except a small bubble of invisible force keeps the trolls from touching you. No matter which way you turn your head, you see nothing but trolls, but they all remain at arm's length. The bubble is a perfect sphere, and you realize that the center of it isn't you. It's the dragon's skull. Some trolls wriggle under the bubble and push you out into the hall. There, you join a sort of river of trolls flowing down the endless hallway. And then you're headed over the falls. Tumbling this way and that, you lose your bearings completely. With trolls blocking your view in every direction, and your little bubble ricocheting about, you don't even know which way is down. But gradually you begin to feel your movements staying on a fairly level plane. You must have reached the downstairs hallway. Up ahead of you, you see a faint light. Wow, so I wonder what would have happened if we hadn't taken the skull. Would we have been protected? Perhaps not. Okay, so we're at the hallway. Maybe one of these. You are helplessly caught up in a stampede of trolls, hundreds of them in just this hallway. thousands in the house, maybe tens or hundreds of thousands outside. For as you are whirled around and tossed about in the current, you see endless masses of trolls cramming themselves in the front door. They are pushing you towards what you think is the north. Something is happening up ahead. Throughout it all, you maintain a tight grip on the dragon's skull. East, it urges you. You do notice a gap in the wall in that direction. East to the pier. The only safe place is the ocean. Walter, thank you for the host. So I'm curious, are there any other exits? No, they're unknown. All right, east it is. You win, Skull. Let's go to that rowboat. You try to force your way through the gap, but the endless horde of trolls rushing in makes that impossible. No, the dragon skull says, reading your thoughts. The protection sphere may be too large to get through, but we can manage if I turn it off. Be prepared to find an opening, and don't let me break. The invisible bubble pops. The trolls that had been braced against it fall inward. As they do, you see slivers of a bright red sky. You hurl yourself into the biggest gap. Outside. As soon as you're out of the gap, you scramble away and find a spot where you can get your bearings. You see trolls streaming in over sand dunes and hear waves on the other side, so you climb to get a better vantage point. And that's when you see that the ocean is made of black bile. Because of what else would it be made out of? Thick black waves do not crash so much as ooze onto the sand. And all along the waterline, trolls rise up out of the surf to stagger toward the house you've just escaped. Wow. Keep going, the dragon skull urges. East to the nearest pier. We have no time to lose. Actually, I kind of want to see what happens if you do lose time. Go south. Don't waste time, the dragon skull says. Alright, fine. Can't do anything else. You fight past the trolls stumbling up out of the sea, and you make your way to the pier. End of pier. You are standing at the end of a pier that extends eastward from the shoreline. A small rowboat is tied to the end of it, bobbing queasily as the sea of black bile oozes underneath it. Into the boat, the dragon skull commands. Enter boat. Noun, whoops. I enter boat. You hop into the rowboat, and with the dragon skull acting as your coxswain, you row out toward the horizon. Ocean in the rowboat. Though at first you cover a fair amount of distance, before long you start to feel as though you're rowing down the endless hallway back at the original beach house. No matter how much power you put into your strokes, no matter how fast you maneuver your oars, you just don't seem to be getting any farther from shore. Never mind that, the dragon skull says, between mentally barking out strokes. Distance is an illusion. What matters is the number of moves. Stroke, 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 stroke. Stop! You stop, and only as you lay down your oars do you realize how much your arms ache. At least you still have arms, the dragon skull notes as you pick it back up. Anyway, this is where we get out. Exit boat. With no real way to exit gracefully from a rowboat out on the open sea, you hug the dragon skull to your chest and throw yourself over the side. You brace yourself for the shock of hitting the water, or bile as the case might be, but the protective bubble keeps you safe and dry. You drift downward for a long time. For a very long time, indeed. And then you stop. You assume you've hit bottom, but you can't swear to it. The darkness here is absolute. The dragon skull begins to glow. Ocean floor. You are standing in a bubble of invisible force with a mile of corrosive bile above your head. In front of you is a small, windowless shed with the word jeweler painted above the door. Oh no. Okay, ocean floor. I suppose it won't do any good to knock, the dragon observes. But we're close enough now to what we seek that I can draw upon its power to take us the rest of the way. Enter the shed. Alright, you're calling the shots here, dragon. Enter shed. You walk through the wall of the shed, the light from the dragon's skull flaring around you. Undersea bunker. Jeez. Crazy. This hideout at the bottom of the ocean seems even smaller on the inside than it did on the outside. There's barely enough room for you to stand. Taking up much of the space is a round table. Intently scribbling a design onto the table is the man in the striped cloak. Oh, the warden. He looks up as you enter, and only the tight quarters keep him from falling over backward in shock. How? I presume you've met the warden, the dragon skull tells you telepathically. I actually can't communicate with him directly in my current state, so you're going to have to do the talking. Tell him that I would like my spine back. Alright, well, can we talk to Warden? Yes. Okay, hello, Warden. As you probably gathered, the dragon and I have reached an understanding, or the dragon says to tell you he wants his spine back. Let's say one. This is no time for the small talk, the dragon skull chides you. Alright, fine. Warden didn't even get to respond. Alright, he wants his spine back. I'm glad to hear that it's been upgraded from an it, the dragon skull thinks to you, but I believe the phrase you were looking for was, the dragon says to tell you that she wants her spine back. While you process this, the warden picks up his scepter, but shows a great reluctance to hand it over. How will I ever get out of here without this? He asks. The warden is an abandoned avatar. Oh wait, the warden is an abandoned avatar, the dragon skull tells you. If he is willing to sever that connection to the plane above and commit to an autonomous existence with the Apaya Bhumi, I can find a place for him. Okay, so yeah, you'll have to commit to an autonomous existence if you don't want to be stuck here. The warden's eyes go wide. It's what I've wanted from the start, he mumbles. He meekly hands over the scepter. Yes, comes the dragon's thoughts into your mind. Excuse me, place my skull in my spine, please. No one told me you were female. It's hardly relevant now, the dragon skull observes. Put my skull in my spine, the dread dragon insists. Do you have a name? Yes, the dragon skull says, but it would do neither of us any good if I were to kill you by speaking it into your mind. Can I really trust you? You sound a little too excited about this. Human, the dragon skull replies. You murdered me. You murdered me while you had been befouled by contact with trolls, and thereby sent me in pieces to Naraya. Did you seriously just ask whether I am worthy of your trust? Put my skull in my spine, the dead dragon insists. Okay, let's just do another save here, just because, again, we don't know what we're really dealing with here. So, let's look. You're in a small wooden shed a mile beneath the surface of an ocean of bile in a hell dimension full of trolls. No, you have already won your quest. Apparently this constitutes winning? The warden stares at the dragon's skull as if hypnotized. Well, do I have the spine? I have the skull. Is there a spine? Alright, whatever. Put skull and spine up. I don't know where the spine is, but okay. I do have the scepter. The warden watches with trembling awe as you press the dragon's skull onto the top of her spine. The two pieces of the dragon's skeleton click neatly together. Now you wield power, the dragon says. It takes both hands to hold the jagged staff of bone with the dragon's skull atop it. This might take some practice. It is time we took our leave of Naraya, the dragon's skull declares. The command to do so is at Nu. Wait. I've been blindly following your commands, but now I want to know the big picture. What's the plan here? Oh. Yeah, we don't know what that is the theme of the game. Absolutely, Max. It was double the fun. Double the butthole, double the fun. Very well, the dragon skull replies. Now that I know that we can leave Naraya, I suppose I can take the time to answer. Our first goal is to begin a new iteration of your quest. No! So that you can complete it without being tainted by contact with the trolls, the dragon skull continues. With my assistance, this will be trivial. Only then will you be able to return to Naraya and repair the defects in the Apaya Bhumi. Oh my god. I don't think it's actually going to make us do it, but if it does, I mean, this game will be the #1 troll game by far. Oh my gosh, alright. What do we do about the warden?
Ah, yes, the Dragon Skull says. Promises to keep. The command is at up Warden. By the way, never, ever try to at up yourself. Your form will be translated to a higher plane, but you, the real you with whom I am communicating, will not.
Okay, if you tell me not to do something, of course I'm going to do it. So, hold on. Let's just write down the things we're going to be doing. So, at new is what the dragon wants us to do. At up warden will get rid of the warden, but at up ourselves would also be something to try. Okay, how do we repair the defects?
The trolls got hold of a focusing plate that, placed over a portal, gives them a plane of existence to lock onto,
The dragon skull explains.
I suspect the responsibility, or perhaps I should say lack of responsibility, lies with the Endless One, or some other metashaper. In any case, the fix is simple. You will carry me through the portal. As you do, I will explode. And the release of the energies of a dragon staff should be sufficient to seal the portal, shutting out unwelcome visitors from Naraya.
Dragon staff. Okay, you're going to kill yourself?
No, the dragon skull replies. Did you forget? You already killed me.
Okay, where will I end up?
Back in our original reality, the dragon skull answers. That is where the focusing plate goes.
If I replace the focusing plate, could I go somewhere else?
I see where your line of inquiry is headed, the dragon skull says. Obviously, to me, it's an academic question, but if you think the warden's plate might constitute an improvement, then by all means bring it along.
Oh gosh, it is too much to keep track of. Alright, what would happen if I just removed the focusing plate?
Even with my power, you could not pry a focusing plate off a portal, the dragon skull says. You can lay another on top to change the portal's destination, but that one will then be as firmly affixed as the first.
Alright, focusing plate can't be removed, can it be destroyed?
That would require a powerful corrosive,
The dragon skull says. Like black bile. Oh yeah, is the black bile in the trolls powerful enough?
Possibly, but that leaves the question of how to get it out of them, the dragon skull replies. You would need some sort of weapon, and given the way we'll need to travel, you won't be able to bring one from the quest world. You would have to have already saved one in the Petalo.
An abrupt pause. You feel the dragon staff mentally searching your inventory.
Human, I appear to have underestimated you once again, the dragon skull says,
but her measured words can't mask the sheer exhilaration that floods the dragon's mind into yours.
I am pleased. I am very well pleased indeed. Let us proceed.
Oh, really? What weapons do we have? A can of beer, maybe? The White Russian? A stopper. We could stop all this madness. Wait, so we picked up a dragon staff and a dart. The dragon staff is a yard-long rod of jagged bone. Oh, top of the skull of the dragon you killed. Got it. Well, what happened to the scepter? Oh, the scepter was the spine. I see. Oops. Got it. Okay. Okay, what's the story with these trolls? Who are they? I've heard so many different things.
I thought it would be obvious, adventurer, the dragon skull replies. They're you.
Hoo. What do you mean the trolls are me?
Not you personally, the dragon skull clarifies. At least not yet. But consider, as the realm of the Asuras is a poor copy of the world above the Payabumi, so is the Petaloka a degenerate version of the realm of the Asuras. Nothing is accomplished, only discussed. That doesn't mean the Petaloka must be shunned like Naraya, as a place to trade notes or to recharge between quests. It is not without value, so long as the barriers hold. But much as the disappearance of villagers suggests that a quest is beginning to deteriorate, when you and your kind make the Petaloka your primary home, it's a sure indication of rot. When the active adventurers are driven away, not only by outsiders crawling up from the depths, but even by their one-time fellows, that plane is fated to collapse into Naraya, and its residents to become the next generation of trolls.
Yeah, maybe we're still the trolls. Still the trolls. All right, let's go. You said at new was the command?
Yes, the dragon skull confirms.
Incidentally, that was well pronounced.
Incidentally, that was well pronounced.
All right, so let's do another save, I guess. Let's add up the warden first. Or actually, what's the current status? The warden stares at the dragon skull as if hypnotized. The warden looks a bit like you, but time has left its mark. His hairline is receded to reveal a tall, bulging forehead. The rest of his hair has grown out to shoulder length. He's also grown a beard, which is developing patches of gray. Can we talk to the warden or no? Nothing to say. Okay. All right, let's add up him. Invisible energy crackles through the dragon staff, and the warden is translated to another plane of existence. Now we're going to have fun and add up ourselves.
What did I tell you? The dragon skull thunders into your mind. You've given the adventurer autonomy. I can see this through with him. He won't even know anything has happened, but you will. Goodbye. You suddenly realize that you are typing on a computer. Ooh, 0 minutes remaining. Oh, uh-oh. Before we leave, we better check our mails. No carrier. The game just gets out. All right, so I don't know if that's the good ending. The thing just closed. It just closed on us. So yeah, maybe it's probably that's probably a real death, maybe.
What's up with
Although is getting autonomy a good thing? Probably is. I don't know. Not sure. I think it might be a death. The game quit out on us, so I think if it wasn't a good ending, it was a death. I do believe. Good thing we just saved. So let's add up the warden again. And let's do that new. Oh, back to the Nameless Tavern. You're staying in a large tavern. Although, I think the original tavern was just called Tavern. With creaky wooden floors, laughter and commotion come to an abrupt halt as the tavern goers discover that you are standing among them, having apparently just ripped a dragon skull and backbone out of its body. A stampede for the exit quickly follows. I suppose I can finally admit that I wasn't sure that would work, the dragon skull says. I definitely don't have enough power remaining to at new again. We'll have to get this right the first time. We can start by leaving this place. Okay, northwest. Village Square. Okay, so the same description. South to my lair, the dragon skull commands. But something gnaws at you. Something about another promise to keep. Someone else who deserves to be lifted up. Well, the old man isn't here. Can I add up the dragon? Because that would be amazing. South, the dragon skull demands. Oh, add up skull maybe? Or... Oh, wait, no, it's the dragon staff now. It's combination. Oh, okay. Okay, so who else could they be? Maybe the sorceress is? Sorceress, maybe. Yeah, let's go to her. The sorceress is... South is the other way, human, the dragon skull chides you, but you ignore its orders to turn around and run all the way up the path to the sorceress's cottage. You don't even pause to knock or cast a spell to unlock the door. You just run right through it, light flaring around you as you do. You don't see the sorceress, but hearing your footsteps, she calls out to you from one of the back rooms. Warden, she says, have you... She stops short as she emerges from the hallway to find you standing in her living room, carrying the dragon staff. Oh boy. I still wonder who the old man was. I'm here to take you to a better world. Tears come to the sorceress's eyes, and she puts a hand to her mouth. I'd almost given up hope. Yes, this is all very touching, the dragon skull grumbles, but you can sense that she approves of your initiative. Very well, hurry it up. Or hurry it up, perhaps I should say. Oh my gosh. Should we talk to sorceress first? Nothing to say. Alright. Add up sorceress. Invisible energy crackles through the dragon staff. The sorceress is translated to another plane of existence. Do we still have score here? Oh my god, we're back down to a score of 0. That's not Terry, the dragon skull tells you. You look around for the sorcerer's cat, but you don't see it. We really must go, the dragon skull says, and you sense that she is just about out of patience. Reluctantly, you return to the village square and press onward. Okay, so we go to the southern end of the village. A troll lurks by the bridge, flipping through a book titled English Usage. When it sees you, it straightens up with a start. This is the moment of truth, the dragon skull thinks at you, with an urgency that ties your stomach into knots. The command is at wall. Not at wall troll, just at wall. Don't do anything to the troll. Don't even look at it. At wall. Of course, that means we need to save so we can see what happens if we do something else. Okay. Let's look at the troll. Well, no, let's at wall troll. No!
The dragon's skull screams. You have contaminated yourself again. After all this. She is practically sobbing. No more. I was going to save this to seal the portal, but... Okay, it was another death, I think. I'm glad we're getting to see these. Alright, so let's just add wall. The troll is abruptly silenced as a wall of invisible force rises between you and it. It snarls and attempts to charge you, but bumps into the wall and is stopped cold. See, the dragon skull thinks to you, if you had just done that instead of killing the troll, or paying the troll, or talking to the troll, or looking at the troll, or letting the troll play any part at all in your quest, you would never have been infected by it in the first place. Did we ever get infected? But I couldn't do that the first time through. It's not part of the rules of the adventure. Your adventure is part of the Apayabumi, and the Apayabumi has its own rules, the dragon skull replies. Among those rules is that when you see that the world's being invaded by trolls, you must take swift and specific action. Let them goad you into putting them to the sword, and you lose. Fool yourself into thinking they can be reasoned with, and you lose. Ignore them and let them keep tormenting others, and you lose. Attack them with petty insults and become a troll yourself, and you lose. Some of these responses may help you advance in your quest, but in your true quest to escape the Apayabumi, they pull you backward. The only real solution is an at-wall, and if the rules of your adventure don't allow for one, you have to change the rules. For a world whose rules allow trolls to establish themselves is fated to degenerate into Naraya. It is too late for this one, but perhaps not for the world that is to come. We must go south. What if we go east? There's nothing more to do here, the dragon skull says. Continue south. Alright. Outside the dragon's lair. You are standing before the entrance to the dragon's lair, which is glowing a sick red color. Did you expect that we would be restraining our confrontation? The dragon skull asks. Unlike you, I cannot exist in multiple places. Your quest is at an end. You have killed me, and though you were corrupted in the process, you have been made at new. Inside lies Naraya. It should hold no terrors for you now. So there was this whole thing about the portals, or the planes and stuff. Still have to, I guess we're gonna figure what to do there. Oh, now we're to Naraya. So this is where all those trolls were headed. Everywhere you look, trolls are skittering up the walls, crawling upside down to the middle of the ceiling and dropping down onto a portal with a focusing plate. Yeah, the focusing plates, oh god. Each time one hits, it is transported with a flash of darkness rather than light into the adventure world. And you recognize this place. Yes, it's Naraya, but it's also the game room of the beach house, or a degenerate version of the game room. You briefly wonder whether there's something about games that attracts trolls, or whether it's just a coincidence that that's where this focusing plate ended up. But then you decide that it doesn't really matter. You still have one last task to perform. I will not tell you how to proceed from here, my friend, comes the dragon's voice into your mind. You have earned the privilege of choosing your own fate. Then, after the mental version of a cough, within certain limits. Oh man, okay, so let's save here. Naraya. So, everywhere you look, oh. Well, is there a focusing plate? A portal out of Naraya. It has a focusing plate on it leading back up to the quest world. So there is a thing that we could destroy. We could attack the trolls with a weapon that we have. Or we could just go through the portal, I think. Let's just see what happens if we enter it. You climb onto the focusing plate, and as your foot touches the square engraved upon it that represents the tavern, you feel the world start to turn inside out. But then the dragon staff explodes in your hands, and you are thrown into the air. But not the air of Naraya. It's just air. You are hurtling through the sky above a familiar landscape. It is the western coast of a nameless land, scarred by a deep gorge. Forest stretches endlessly to the north and east. You look over it for what may be the last time. For while you have heard that time is cyclical, this may be the last iteration for you. But so be it. There are worse fates. There was virtually nothing here when you first arrived, just water and rock. The rest of it you breathed into being. The fish great and small that swim in the sea, the birds that pluck them out, the trees that blanket the hills and valleys. And now, the creatures who fell those trees, fashion dwellings for themselves out of the wood, and leave paths through the forest for others to follow. And follow they will, fools from distant lands seeking glory and adventure. You made them too. One of them, you know, will unmake you. And it will be easier if you fly about in the open like this. You have no intention of making it easy, so you take one last look. And you swoop down over the chasm on iridescent wings. Take your place in your lair as the dragon. And you wait. Endless Nameless, written and programmed by Adam Cadre, you have reached one of 13 endings. Oh wow, okay, there it is. We got to an ending. Is it a good ending? Probably, because we're waiting and we got credits and we're not dead, and it doesn't suggest that things are awful. In fact, didn't it even muse? What was the musing? You know, yeah, it's kind of cool that we turned into the dragon, sort of. We were the dragon all along. Wow, okay. No carrier. Oh, and then it closed. All right. Well, let's see. I mean, it'd be easy enough to get one of the others. Let's just see if we can do that quickly. So we have to destroy the focusing plate. I don't think we can take the plate, right? It can't be moved. Okay, so we got to destroy it with a weapon. I'm actually curious. Can you pour the White Russian on the plate? It's probably... The dart doesn't seem like an effective weapon. I don't know. Okay, invisible force prevents you from pouring your drink into an inappropriate receptacle. Okay. I don't know. Throw dart at plate. This would achieve nothing. Yeah, I figured. Okay. Are there trolls here? Or... Everywhere you look... Oh, it's the same thing as just looking around in general. Yeah, it's the same description. Okay, look at the plate. Portal out of Naraya, it's focusing plate on it. So we can't take the plate. Can we can't put the... If we put something on the plate, wouldn't the troll then go through it or something? Let's put towel. Maybe the towel would block the plate if we put the towel around it. The portal cannot support anything except for a focusing plate. Well, I'm not putting it on the portal, I want to put it on the plate. Interesting. Put stopper on plate to stop all this madness. No. Drink beer. Okay, drink White Russian. Okay, same stuff as before. Oh, I can't. Oh, they have no meaning. Oh, now I have the empty can of beer. That's interesting. Beer me. Oh, we have a glass now. The glass may actually be plastic. You're not entirely sure. Oh. Okay, no, we still can't use that. So, can we talk to the dragon at all or no? Oh yeah, what are my options? You have a dart, and you can throw at a troll and destroy the focusing plate that is currently on the portal. You cannot be infected in Naraya, for there is nowhere lower to go. Or you can enter the portal without further delay. Okay, so it was the dart. But instead of throwing it at the plate, we throw it at a troll. I didn't realize there was well, I guess there are many trolls here, but still. Alright, throw dart at troll. You aim your dart, think back to those last few throws in the tavern, when you really got your technique down. Wait for a troll to drop. Wait. And with the flick of the wrist, you toss the dart. Bullseye. The dart flies right through the center of the troll, which dissolves into a blob of black bile in midair. The bile splashes onto the focusing plate and eats right through it. The portal is now a glowing blue disc of pure energy. I'm trying to actually remember, we picked up a dart in the game room, I guess, in the Endless World, in the beach house. But we could just as easily have not picked that up, in which case the dragon would not have said, "Oh, I'm very happy to see that you have it." Go! Cries the dragon skull. This can't be stable. I can feel it shrinking already. Okay, enter portal. Let's see where it takes us now. You dive into the portal, gripping the dragon staff tight. Blue energy flows into you. As it does, you hear the dragon's thoughts in your head, but they don't take the form of words. You listen to her sing, and you are free of Naraya, and with all the incarnated hate surrounding you suddenly gone, even nothingness feels like love. And then it feels like nothing. It takes a long time for there to be something, but that's okay. It's warm here, safe, dark. Then there is light. And for a while, everything is confusing. There is light, but then darkness. Warmth, but then cold. Loving touch and fullness, but then isolation and emptiness. When faced with what you hate, you beg for what you love, but somehow you cannot find the words. Time passes. Within light you distinguish color. Within color you distinguish shape. And within yourself, what you thought was all, you distinguish other presences. There are others here, and incomprehensible as it initially seems, they are not you. You live scores of lifetimes. Each time you live again, you understand a little more than you did before. Then your life ends, but it resumes again. Sometimes in the same place, sometimes not. Sometimes you have a sense of what you might like to do, but much of the time you just wander around, to whatever extent you can, and see what there is to see. There are things you can pick up, things you can use, though sometimes you're not sure how. And there are the others. It seems like communicating is important, but you often don't know what to say. So you just try everything, and eventually stumble across an option that turns out to be right. Oh no. Ba 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 and la 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 have little effect, but when you hit upon ma 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 ma, that turns out to open up a whole new world of possibilities. Your map expands. Now, more days than not, Mama straps you into your car seat and takes you somewhere. A frequent destination is the bright place with all the cans and boxes, where you get to ride in the cart and then gnaw on a cookie on your way home. Another is Nana's house. The first few times are fine. Mama talks with Nana over the top of your playpen. You sit inside, happily bashing your colorful plastic rings together. They watch the box with the changing pictures. You might as well be at home. But one day Mama just leaves you there for an afternoon, which occasions much shrieking and wailing on your part despite Nana's many kisses and offers of sugary treats. The second time this happens is much the same, but gradually you get used to it. Oh my gosh. Are we going to go through the entire life here? Eventually the playpen becomes a thing of the past. When Mommy drops you off at Nana's house, you sit on the floor of the rumpus room and play with your blocks. The one sticking point is that Nana's cat keeps jumping in over the baby gate, and Nana has to spray it with the water bottle. One day she gives up and decides to see whether the two of you can coexist. Play nice, she tells you both. No scratching, no biting, no pulling of tails. You gently stroke the cat's glossy black fur the way Nana shows you. The doorbell rings. Nana looks worried. Are you old enough to be left unsupervised for a minute while she answers the door? The doorbell rings again, and with a sigh, she shuffles out to get it. The moment she is out of sight, you feel cosmic knowledge flooding into your mind. Suddenly you know that, despite all the frustrations of this existence, of being so small, of knowing so little, this is the life you chose. There are other worlds, upward and downward and thwartward and slantward of this one, that you could have chosen instead. On one of them you had already succeeded in your quest. You could have returned there, a night with songs sung in his honor. But you didn't, for that world is but a dismal shadow of this. This is where you're supposed to be. This is where you belong. You turn to find the cat sitting in the middle of the rumpus room, regarding you with the feline version of a smile. "Na, you has really won," it whispers. Oh, is that... Did I really win? Yeah, we have reached another one. We reached the blue ending. So I guess we got the black ending and now the blue ending. Huh. So I wonder if are there 13 endings, you get like a different color for each ending maybe? Yeah, Steel, you have a suggestion? I don't want to go too much longer because we have to wrap up, but if you have a silly one we want to try, we can do it. Just quickly. Oh, up the plate. Oh, yeah, that would be interesting. All right, we'll try that. Why not? Or even do the dragon.
staff or a troll. I don't think it would work against a non-inanimate. Only living creatures can be translated up. Okay. What about the dragon staff? Is it living?
Thank you for the thought, the dragon skull says, but that would be too recursive to work.
Okay, what about the troll?
I refuse to carry out the command.
Dragon's staff replies curtly. Yeah. Yeah, sure, Nico. What was the missing point? Missing point is feeding the cat with a fist? Wait, what fist? Doesn't affect anything. Feeding the cat back in the cottage with oh, fish. Ah. Is that back when we were with the sorceress? I don't even know if we had the opportunity to do that. Really. Well, the game also... Wow. Talk about the game being a troll. It gave us 5 points for eating the cooked fish, if you remember that. That just means you're basically Walking Dead, at least on that run. Because then you can't... the fisherman disappears and you can't buy the uncooked fish. Oh, wait. I guess you don't really use the uncooked fish for anything. Did we use the mackerel for anything? Yeah, we did, because we made the marlin into a real fish material, so we did use that. Oh yeah, we could try add-upping ourselves now. What do you want? Oh, me. Oh no, it looks like the same. Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, so that 5 points for the cooked fish was a total troll. Yeah. Alright, well, there you have it. After 12 hours and 25 minutes, Endless Nameless has reached its end. I don't think we ever found out what our name was, but it doesn't matter. We reached 2 of the endings. Probably they're the 2 most common endings, I would guess. I do wonder if there's an ending where you, if we hadn't taken the dart from the Nameless world, what would have, whether there was anything that going, could you have done anything? Or would you just be locked into the first ending? Interesting. Huh. Alright, so let's give out additional 12 Cedrics. The game took us 12 hours and 25 minutes. Yeah, I don't know when we could have given the cat the fish, because if I recall back at the cottage, when the cat shows up... Oh, maybe instead of saying something, we could have done an action. Instead of asking what the cat's name was, we could have fed it the fish then. Interesting. Okay. Other endings death are dropping the staff, giving the staff to the warden, giving the staff to the sorceress. You don't save the warden and enter the portal. You kill the troll on the bridge with the dart and enter the resulting vortex. Oh, wow. Throw a dart and don't enter the vortex. Oh, right, because he said there was only a limited time. And do those all end up getting the same sort of you've reached one of the endings, right? I presume. So it's up to you to figure out, or to see, like, what you think is the best ending. Oh, not all of them? Yeah. If it were a little bit earlier, I would have us look at more of them, but I'm just worried that there's going to be too much text to read through and we're never going to get... Anyway, so I have to get through. All right, so yeah. All in all, like, you know, on the one hand, I respect the game because it was obviously ambitious. There was a lot of probably interesting meta commentary. More so, probably you guys got more out of the meta stuff than I did because, I don't know, in trying to stream it, like play it while streaming it, I don't know, I didn't feel like I could sit back and really like think about things sort of generally at large the way probably Adam Kadra intended you as the player to do so. So that's why I'm speculating that some of you may have gotten more out of this if you've played it before or if you were just watching it, you know, now, but not actually playing it. But I don't know. I felt like I couldn't really get that much out of that. And then, obviously, as you likely heard me say before, the actual, like, puzzle, like, again, so much of the content was like you had to talk to the doubles to progress, yet talking to the doubles also spoiled legit puzzles, but then there were other obviously red herring puzzles that were obsolete in the game world. So I don't know, like doing stuff like even looking for fuel, I didn't know whether I could do that in confidence. I was trying to reason out like, I don't think I need to find another like fish or marlin or find a way to cross the sea or get caught by the rock again or whatever. Like, so I don't know. I don't like that it spoiled some of the legit puzzles for me, and then I also couldn't really puzzle solve in confidence even when I didn't have the spoilers because I didn't know whether the puzzles were actually legitimate puzzles or not, or paths. So I guess that was, again, it's part of the game's point, but it just makes it difficult to actually like play it and enjoy it the way you would a normal game. But I guess again, it's not a normal game, so it's hard to apply regular standards to it. But I didn't like having to repeat stuff on when you go back into Nameless. But I guess it kind of makes sense because they're trying to say like each player is, from the game's perspective, each player is a duplicate of each other, and they're all whatever. But then there wasn't also anything really to do in Nameless other than talk to the people. I don't know. But wow, you can kill the sorceress? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm sure the shed was just another red herring. Just the same way the buffet tables were. There was nothing to do with any of that food, right? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was interesting, but of the two Adam Kadra games we played, I much preferred, for sure, Varicella. Like, that was legit impressive. I mean, I don't think he was trying to accomplish the same thing here, so whatever. Obviously, people respected it enough if it finished 46 in that vote, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to play more IF to appreciate this more. So, yeah. All right, all that said, let's head to our Hall of Adventure. Shelf number 2 here. And we're gonna game, where is it? 259? Oh my gosh, this isn't even the right thing, is it? Hang on. We may not be able to add this. Oh, we definitely can't add that. Hold the phone, hold the phone. We don't have the right thing. This is a travesty. Absolute travesty. Okay. Quickly correct this. All right, let's add game 259. Endless Nameless. Put it up on the shelf.